Welcome to episode 35 of Directly to You of Redirect Podcast. I'm AJ. I'm joined once again, as is customary, by Dan Seibert of Dan Seibert on YouTube and Dan Seibert Live on Twitch.tv. Did I get it right? I was right.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Also, he's that Seibert guy some places.
Yeah, man. See what? Branding's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. Until it's not. You had a chance to make it not, and then you just kept it complicated. I don't know why you did that.
Because I love complicating things. It's about evolution, but very
linear.
Planned.
You don't want.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I was gonna make a linear evolution transition joke, but there's not really a good one. We had a Nintendo Direct partner showcase today. That happened. Initially, I thought the main thing that we were going to talk about today was a bunch of financial briefing things. But then there was a lot of rumblings that there was going to be a Nintendo Direct. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll just talk about that. So here it is. And we're talking about it. This might be, we might speed through it. Because I know that there's games that I care about. I talked about a lot of the ones that I know of that I care about because they've showed up elsewhere. But there's some exceptions, and I don't know. I haven't talked to you about, I don't think, any of these games, really, except for Resident Evil.
No, not really. Yeah, Resident Evil we've talked at length about.
Yeah. So the first game, they showed Orbitals. We got a release. Did we get it? No, we got a release window. Before it was 2026. Now it's summer 2026. And we also learned, and I talked to Dan about this a little bit before we started. I teased this. We also got an update that this supports Game Share, which I think is hype. Especially, I
think that's great.
Especially in the era where the going feeling, just across platform, but especially this one as a new platform, is everything's too expensive. So there's like a lot of games that's like, you don't even gotta buy this game, man. If you want to play it with your friend, just one of y'all buy it. And if you really don't want to buy the game, you could, like, people go half in, like, you know, that kind of thing. I know.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Nintendo's going, most gaming companies are like, you want to know something? Some people aren't buying our stuff, so let's target their rich friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And make them buy the games.
Exactly. Because I think that it goes back to, like, something we've talked about at length, and I talk about a lot, is, like, everything's more expensive, but everything's not more expensive as a direct result of them. So everything is more expensive for them as well. So it does not behoove them to lower the price of the thing that is already making them less money if they kept it the same price that it is supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I get what you're saying with that.
So I think that this is a good middle ground. I don't know how well this game is going to, because, like, I did a whole, like, I tested a lot of different Game Share games, and some of them are phenomenal. Like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, that game is a W with
hell yeah,
with Game Share. But Mario, the Mario 3D World, that game feels like garbage playing on Game Share. And I think it's kind of because, like, it compounds. It's like that game already kind of feels off when you're playing it online multiplayer, and then doing it online multiplayer through Game Share just feels awful.
Yeah, I mean, so, like, I've recently tried, and it's not the same thing, it just getting that out there, but I recently did Split Fiction with Game Share through Steam, and that felt really good because my friend Bridget had to also download, like, the version, like a full version on theirs, on her console. So it's just kind of not exactly what happens here. Yeah, from my understanding.
Like, so I don't know if Orbitals, they didn't talk about it, so I assume they're not. That is like a normal thing with these kinds of games. Like, this is like a genre in and of itself that Hazelight started, and that's what they do with their games, where it's like, you buy Clockwork Clone, what's going on with the 4-month subscription. That's something that they do with their games, where it's like, you buy one copy of the game and you can play it with your friends as much as you want. And what you do there is you download a buddy pass, I think they call it. It's like something along those lines. Friends pass, buddy pass.
It's
and
friend pass, yeah.
Some games have adopted a similar thing. Like me and Bob, we played Lego Voyagers on stream, but because we're content creators and we don't really think about like buying games in the same way, both of us just bought the game without even like. So I told him, for what it's worth, I bought the game. I was like, okay, we're playing the game, I'm buying the game, I'm sending Bob the friend pass or whatever. I sent it to him and he bought the game anyway, and he was like, oh, I didn't even see that you sent me that. And I was like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. So I don't know if they're doing something similar. I know that like with Voyagers, like that felt fine. We did the friends pass with the first game that at least I know of. Again, A Way Out that Hazelight did. That's how me and Bob played that through the friend pass, and yeah, that felt good. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be the same because again, like I said, the Game Pass thing Game Share, as far as I've experienced it, it was just like the first wave of games because I went out of my way to do it. But
yeah,
for the most part, if I'm playing games with somebody else and it's an online multiplayer game, like they probably have a Switch too, and they probably have the game. I haven't really ran into the situation where I have to use Game Share. It's really just something I go out of my way to test it, to be able to say in videos like, this feels good, this feels bad,
Yeah, and I'm curious too, because from what we saw in the trailer, it was a Switch 2 kicking it over to a Switch 1.
Yeah.
And
I've tested that.
Yeah.
That works. It works. It works. Again,
right.
Mileage may vary depending on the video game, but it works.
Right.
And also depending on your internet connection. That's another variable. It's like...
That's always a big thing. Get it hardwired in there.
Yo, Wes, with the tier 1. What's going on? But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Me and Colton are going to stream this for sure.
I'm so excited.
Yo, it's gonna be so lit. I love the style of this video game. I just generally really like this look. I've been campaigning for a long time that I want Pokemon games to embrace the fact that they are an anime and just make the video games look like an anime. This is one of the video games that is like case studies of like, see, they're doing it. Why not you?
Yeah, I mean, it's all like at this point in time, our graphics are so good. At this point, people want aesthetics. They want it to look and feel unique, and Orbitals fits that perfectly.
Yeah. And also, I think like graphics are so good, but there's still movement in a way that like when a game aims for like as realistic, quote unquote, as you can make it, the games look dated. It's like you can look at a game and be like, this looks like a PlayStation 2 game, this looks like a PlayStation 3 game, this looks like and not even necessarily because of like technological advancements in a linear kind of way, but because they steer into the skid of the best possible thing that they think will look good with the technology that they have, rather than just making something that they think looks good in general. Like Yoshi's Island is an example of a game that just looks good. It just looks good. Wind Waker just looks good. But like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it looked good at the time. It's super dated now.
I always go to like Super Mario Galaxy, like for that like era, that game, 480p looked beautiful,
right,
when you were playing it. And so it really is, it's like it's finding the style within the limitations. And right now we're kind of getting to the point where the limitations are not as tight as they used to be.
Right.
And so I love seeing stuff like Orbitals. The next one on the list, I like the style. I don't like the animation, but I kind of like the style of it.
Yeah. We can move on to that. It's called Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse. And this is a Switch 1 game, which obviously also means that it's coming out on Switch 2. It's Switch. Yeah, Orbitals is just Switch 2. This game is a fever dream, and it's funny because like in the lead up to the direct starting, where I'm on stream, I'm like, "Oh, is everybody wondering what do you think we're going to see?" Me going off of the first partner showcase, I'm thinking that this is going to be more like Western game favored. Like there's going to be like, you know, Japanese games and JRPGs and like weeb stuff. And so Thrill House in chat, he was like, I just hope we don't see a bunch of weeb stuff. And I was like, I don't know, maybe we don't, because this is a partner showcase. And then immediately, so we got weeb game.
I mean, this is definitely one of the highest amount of like concentration of some weeb stuff.
Yeah.
Like everything was like, this was a partner showcase. I was like, this is a lot of anime style stuff.
Weeb stuff. For sure. But yeah, I agree with you as far as like, I like the like general, I don't know how to phrase this. I like the style of the game, but I don't like the what they came out on the other end of it, if that makes sense. Like the character designs and stuff, they look kind of like because of how it's stylized, I guess.
Yeah, it looked fine. I just did a quick peek. Apparently the game before this did really, really well. So
did it?
Maybe it's a super fun game, but it doesn't look like it's for me specifically.
Yeah, no, this is not a me game at all.
No.
The next video game. This game looks cool. This looks like a game, and I've seen this. Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters on the Nintendo Switch 1. Also, to clarify, the last game, Mermaid's Curse, that's coming out on the 19th of this month. I feel like that's important. This game, Captain Tsubasa 2, is coming out in 2026. No solid date yet. But it's a soccer game. It's like weeb soccer. It's like if Mario Strikers was an anime game, I feel. I think that's...
Yeah, no, I think that's the best description you can get on that.
Which I'm down, man. This game looks cool. It depends on what else comes out around it, I think, but
yeah,
I'm interested.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things where, again, like it looks really fun to play.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of the takeaway I got from that. It's kind of weird because when I pause and look at the stadium versus the characters, I'm like, something's not matching quite right.
It has Pokemon syndrome. It has Pokemon syndrome.
It does have Pokemon syndrome. That is exactly it. But it looks like fun. I don't know if I'll play it because I'm not much of a soccer or football player.
No, we don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
I'm joking. But
not on Super Bowl week. How dare we?
Yeah, how dare you? But yeah, no, I'm down for the weeb soccer video game, but only if it releases, like, you gotta give me like 2 business weeks away from a game that I care about more, and then I'm down. Right. You know? Or if this game's like $40, if this game's $40, I'm down regardless of when it comes out.
All right, hell yeah.
Next game, Tokyo Scramble, Nintendo Switch 2. It comes out next week on the 11th of February. This is a Nintendo Switch 2 game also. And it's another one that, like, I think the most interesting part about this game is the game share feature. And it's not even because, like, the first game, it was like, it's just cool that it's game share. Like, it doesn't use game share in any type of, like, specific revolutionary way. It's just you're playing the game through game share. But this game, it's almost like Twitch plays Pokemon-esque kind of vibes, where like you do game share and each person gets like a job, like somebody controls the camera and like that sort of situation. And I think that in particular could be cool to play on stream. That said, looking at this trailer, and I don't even mean it in the way that people traditionally say it when they see a video game and they're like, this looks like a PlayStation 2 game. This game looks like a PlayStation 2 game. Like, hit detection wise, like the dinosaur like attacks this woman and he like clips through her. I was like, yeah, this game like
uh-oh.
Yeah, that sort of situation. So I think it'll be ridiculous and fun to play because it's ridiculous. But again, like the last game, it depends on how much it costs. Like if it's a full price video game and it comes out around a game that actually, comes out next week, so it's definitely coming out around the game that I want to play, because it comes out there, Mario Tennis, and I'm definitely getting Mario Tennis fever. That game looks sick, and I'm hearing good things.
Oh, wait, Mario Tennis comes out next week?
Yeah.
Oh God! All right, that snuck up on me.
True. The next game, I am hoping that you have thoughts on this game and or you know more about it than I do, because I know vague things about this game. I just know that it exists on PC. Valheim, I sure do. Coming to Switch 2 in 2026.
I played this early on in its development. Like, I think it was, of course, one of those crafting early access games that come out. I really liked it. It was a little low on the amount of content when we started playing it, but since then they've added a bunch of stuff to it. If you like the whole crafting thing, but you also like adventuring and like Viking lore, Norse lore, it's really cool. It's a very fun game to play with your friends.
The question that me and Colton had while we were watching this, because again, I literally only hear about this game. Like Mars, who was in the chat at one point, I don't know if he's still here. He was playing this game with another friend, Alex, in their Discord, and I hear them talking about this game, and I'm like, this game is just Minecraft. But I never like actually looked at it. And looking at it, me and Colton are like, does this game look like this on PC? Because it's an ugly game.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not supposed to look especially pretty.
Okay.
That is the style. The big thing is like this kind of came out, I guess it would have been like 2020, 2021 when Minecraft was dominating Twitch
it makes
again.
sense. That makes sense. When it came out and we played it for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. What it came out of that time era where it was just like everyone was playing Rust, everyone was playing all of these like crafting server games, and Valheim was one of them. It's recently seen another resurgence for just a little bit. I saw like a couple people on Twitch were starting to play it again. It's fun. I mean, it is a crafting game, so you're going to get what you expect from a crafting game. You're going to go hunt a bunch of stuff. You're going to chop down trees. You're going to build whatever. And if that's what you're looking for, it's great.
Is there an Ender Dragon in this game?
There's no Ender Dragon in this one.
There's
skeletons.
That's crazy. And I don't literally mean is there an Ender Dragon? I mean, is there like a thing that I'm like that like
there are bosses, yes.
Normal people would be like, all right, I'm playing this game to beat this game,
I think there is at this point. I'll say the one thing I like about Valheim over what Minecraft is there's a lot more adventuring kind of built into the game. And a lot more like as in like your where Minecraft's kind of like just keep digging, get diamond,
right,
get better stuff, go fight dragon, you win. This one was very much like you needed to conquer certain bosses to slowly unlock more and more of the map, if I remember correctly. Okay. It may have changed, but to beat the game or to make progression in the game, it is about going and fighting these guys. It's a bit more, if you don't want to sit there and build a house, grab an axe and go.
Mars says in chat, I'd say it's like more akin to a 3D Terraria than Minecraft. As somebody that doesn't play Terraria, that's Minecraft, bro.
That's flat Minecraft.
Yeah, that's Minecraft. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could get swindled into playing this video game. I like the games you play with your friends. I'm sure that one of my friends at some point will be like, yo, you want to play this game? And then we'll play it for a weekend and never look at it again. And that'll be a fun weekend.
You know what? We can hit up Bob and we can make the coffee shop again, but Viking.
You can do that in this game? Yo,
I don't know if there's coffee,
but... Can you get drunk in this game like Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, you might be able to.
Yo, me and Bob are going to get drunk again. It's funny because me and Bob are not the type of people to get drunk in real life, but no. You give us the ability to get drunk and be belligerent in a video game, and we're gonna do it.
You can make mead and beer.
Yo, we're gonna get lit again, and it's gonna be a nightmare for you because you're gonna be like trying to man the ship, and we're gonna be getting drunk and throwing up all over the place. It's gonna be lit. Gonna be
no. 2026 Dan's ready to embrace all forms of chaos. He's ready to be a little chaotic now.
Oh, you got broken by your new friends.
Yeah,
I've witnessed this. I've witnessed this.
New friends, he says.
I mean, as far as I know, they're your new friends. I didn't know them.
Yeah.
But yeah, next video game. This game came out today, but I mean, it's a game that already existed. But it's updated. Hollow Knight, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I don't care about this one because I don't like how he moves.
I will say though, like, this is great news because if I played Hollow Knight on the Switch first, I had massive frame rate issues.
I was gonna say, is this game like what's the like? I would think that this game would just be fine on Nintendo Switch.
That's what I thought too, and that's why I was like, I'll get it on the Switch. It makes a lot of sense. I want to play this portably. But like, what are the hardest bosses? I don't know what was going on, but it was chugging, and I couldn't figure it out. I don't know if it ended up getting patched, but
I would hope so. Silk Song is on the original Switch.
Yeah. I'm here. The thing is like, this is great news to see that it's been updated and plays better.
Right. That's cool.
It's a great Metroidvania, but
if you've never played the first game and you want to play the first game, you can play it on Nintendo Switch too. That's neat. Okay, first game that I have absolutely no opinion on whatsoever, but I did see a fun fact about the video game. eFootball Kickoff for Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out this summer. You have any thoughts on eFootball?
No.
My fun fact is this game is an exclusive spin-off of eFootball for the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know if that means that this is like, you know, how they did like Monster Hunter Rise type beat where it's like we can't get the regular game working, so here's an exclusive one, or if it's just they wanted to make a Switch 2 exclusive video game. I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Next video game, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. I don't remember if this is the game that had this stupid name of the place. It was like freaking Build-A-Delphia or whatever. I don't remember. All these HD 2D games bleed together. I don't remember if this is the one, but I do remember that this game, it's coming out June 18th also this year. I do remember this game is a HD 2D game, but it's like a top-down Zelda situation, and I'm down for that. I like 2D Zelda.
Dude, it looks great. I wasn't sure about it. Because I feel like we've seen this before, right? I feel like we
a
had
few times
on this before. Yeah.
Because this was like, again, it's an HD 2D game. You know how like they started, this studio started doing the thing where it's like, Project Octopath Traveler, the demo's out today. Help us make the video game. Tell us what sucks in our demo.
Yeah.
And then they come back a year later and they're like, here's Octopath. They did that with this.
Yeah. I really like where it's going. I'm really excited for this one to drop. I'm keeping my eye on it.
I'm down. I wouldn't say I'm really excited, but I'm gonna play it. You know?
Yeah. That's great. That's great news, AJ.
Bomberman Collection coming to Switch 1 and 2. It already did. February today. 2026.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
I don't care about this, but I will say Colton did say, yo, we could play this with the homies, and I was like, okay, you know, like I'm down.
Yeah.
I bought Super Bomberman R again because of Bob, so like I can be convinced. I don't have a huge affinity for Bomberman. I don't really care about him as a character.
I mean, I like the adventure modes the most.
I never played a Bomberman adventure mode. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, the solo play is usually some sort of like kind of adventure. I remember for my Game Boy, it was one of my first games. I had I had like a Bomberman Game Boy game, and it was a ton of fun. I loved that game.
Nice.
You get a whip.
You get a whip.
It
is that one of the games that's in this? No. Absolutely not.
No, but I did play a good chunk of Super Bomberman on Super Nintendo at a friend's house, and it was fun.
I've only played Bomberman R, and I'm sure I've played like old Bomberman, but I can't tell you which one's which. You know?
Yeah. No, I get you.
It's just all Bomberman. So like, if you're a Bomberman fan, congrats. You got the collection, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and it's on Switch 1 also. Next video game. This is a game that we already knew was coming, but we seen it for the first time, and it's also earlier than I thought it was going to come out.
Yeah, same.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out June 3rd, 2026. Also, this game is $50, which is neat. It's pretty cool.
I like that.
The thing that people are bummed out about, still game key card. But also video game is over 100 gigabytes, so you kind of got to eat that.
Yeah.
I am playing Remake currently. I am not that far. I'm far in my head as somebody that doesn't play RPGs often by choice. But I'm not that far in the context of the video game. I'm like chapter 8. I'm like 10 hours in or something like that. I want to finish this before that, so I will do my damnedest. But I promise nothing.
Yeah, I like what they did with Rebirth, especially after the remake. I will say though, with Rebirth, it is quite bloated.
Oh no!
Is the one thing
like a RPG kind of bloated? Like I'll hate this game. You think I'll hate? You think I won't like this one? I like Remake so far.
I think like if you are looking to do every side quest and
I am
take
not
a completionist route, then you're gonna have a great time.
I am gonna have a great time if I'm not.
You will.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay,
because there's just the open areas of the map are very much just like there are so many mini games and side quests. It's too much, and you could spend hours of the game just
doing
mini
the games and side quests fun?
Some of them, I would say it is an unfortunate 20-80 split. Where 20, I was like, yeah, this is great, and 80, I was like, I don't want this to do this stupid chicken mission right now.
Do I need to do them in any way? Like, will my experience be hindered if I don't do that? Will I be underleveled or whatever if I don't do it?
I think if you did about half of them, I'm sure there's a guide or somewhere that says like, hey, do these missions, skip these.
Okay.
A lot of them are just for your companion likes you a little better.
Okay. They did talk about this, how there's like a companion system for cutscenes and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean the big thing of this section of Final Fantasy VII is this is where the date scene is. So if there's a specific character that you want to go either have a boys' night or a date with, make sure you prioritize them.
Okay, all right. So I got
and you can skip the whole card game if you want.
I thought Sephiroth was going to date Cloud, man. That's what Smash Brothers said.
that's ultimately what the entire game really is about.
But yeah, I'm gonna play this game probably. I mean, I'm gonna play it eventually, but I don't know if I'm gonna play it this year because I don't know if I'm gonna finish Remake in time. And then other stuff, June, that's when the games are gonna, start being announced and coming out and stuff. And there's already a decent amount of stuff that I want to play. On that topic, Pragmata, Switch 2, April 24th, 2026. The demo is out, and that was mostly what this was. This was mostly, they showed footage because they announced that this game was coming out during the, I think that was the Game Awards, that they said, yo, this is coming out on Switch 2. That's pretty cool. And they showed us no footage. And now we're seeing footage. And the demo came out. I played the demo. It's pretty cool.
Okay, cool. I mean, after this trailer in particular, I was interested in it. I think the hacking mechanic might stress me out a little bit, but it looks really fun.
This is another one of those games that, like, in the event that Gen 10 is not like what I want, or like a closer trajectory to what I want, it's like one of those games that I want to highlight in a video that's like, just do this for Pokemon. Just do this. Because it plays with the idea of like, you're this character and the other character does this. It's like, you're a trainer and you control a Pokemon, and this, you're the Marine man and she's the robot hacker lady, and you work together to defeat enemies. And the way that it works and controls, it feels good. Mm-hmm. And I think that
I like that
they could learn from that. And it's just just in a vacuum, it's an interesting dynamic. I don't think a lot of games do it, and the ones that do it rarely do it well.
Yeah, no, I think the mechanic's really interesting. I will say this is definitely a game that I'm going to be getting on PC over Switch. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Anything where I have to aim, keyboard and mouse is generally where I go for.
That's fair. I'm using motion aiming, so it's fine on me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. Granted, maybe not. I don't know, because I didn't play this docked yet, but apparently it's not as good docked, because dock doesn't have VRR. So that's not ideal.
That's not ideal.
But we'll see. Maybe it gets patched someday, because I know they're working with Ubisoft right now to try to solve that problem.
That's from the last podcast.
It is true. We did talk about it in the last podcast. Next video game, Turok Origins, fall 2026, Switch 2 exclusive. Well, I don't know if it's coming out on other platforms, but it's not coming on Switch 1. Do you care about Turok? Just generally?
I remember playing Turok 64 a ton with my friends, and then never thinking about Turok ever again. And then every time I see like Turok, I'm like, oh yeah, the thing they used to play. And then I see gameplay, I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't look like it.
I don't think I've ever played Turok before. But also, I feel like a lot of N64 games were that like dinosaur, also human gun kind of deal.
There were a couple, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I've played that or one of the other ones that has that kind of formula. But I'm not particularly interested in this.
No, I mean the original, the Turok 64 wasn't the original, but the one on the 64 was only, I feel like it only captured us because it was GoldenEye, but hyper violent.
Yeah.
Like there was a gun called the Cerebral Orb, I think it was. And all it would do is you fire it, it would go to your buddy's head, and it would drill into their head and explode.
That's ridiculous.
And it's just like, you know, when you're a preteen boy, you're like, that's so cool. And then you get older and you're like, all right, well, that was kind of excessive.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is another game that's multiplayer, the co-op situation.
Yeah.
So again, I could be convinced potentially.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see how it looks.
So far, it doesn't look great.
It looks kind of generic, which is unfortunate.
But that's what I always feel like Turok looks generic. I don't think I've ever seen Turok footage that didn't look generic.
Nah.
Next video game, speaking of generic, Kyoto Xanadu. Well, actually, I don't know if that's a fair description for this game, if this is the one that I'm thinking of. Hold on. I need to fast forward. Because when we were watching this, it like kind of cracks me. Yeah. This is the 2D side scroller. I was not expecting this to be a side scroller.
Yeah, me neither.
I was not at all expecting that. So actually, I might play this. I
find it interesting where it's like 2D levels, and then you fight the monster, and it shifts to 3D.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It looks like it might be a little bit Metroidvania, which, I like those. I don't know. Maybe I might give this one a shot.
I remember watching this during the direct. It was a roller coaster of emotions because they first showed it and it was it looks like what it looks like. And I was like, oh, it's going to be more weeb, like RPG turn-based BS. And then they showed the side scrolling portion. I was like, hold on. And then he was like, and then there's RPG boss fights. And I was like, ugh. And then they showed it was action RPG. I was like, hold on again. so I think I'm down. I think I'm interested. So yeah, I'm here for that. This game looks cool.
I'll check it out.
I'm down. Digimon Storytime Stranger. Switch 1 and 2, July 10th, 2026. I am probably going to play this for a meme and then never play it again.
That's fair. It's been out for a while on other platforms, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. But the meme wouldn't be worth it to me because, I don't stream my Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a Vmon speed run. Because everybody, I was like, yo, I'm literally only playing this game if I can get Vmon, because that's literally the only Digimon I care about even a little bit. And I was like, yo, can I get Vmon? And everybody's like, you probably get Vmon. And I was like, all right, how long is it going to take me to get Vmon? And then somebody told me it was like 10 hours at first. And I was like, what? No. And then somebody else told me it was way faster than that. So I kind of just wanted to do a stream until I get Vmon and then end the stream. And depending on how much I hate my life during that one stream will determine if I play it more. Because my understanding is just like it's alternate if there's two universes of Pokemon's future, and one universe is where I'm happy and the other one is where I'm sad. But like some of the either way in these universes, there's Pokemon fans that are happy. To further explain this analogy, this is the universe where I'm sad, because it's just like what Pokemon has always been, but the graphics are better and like there's no Dexit. It's like no real innovation. Is just a linear line of like it's 4K 60 frames per second and all the Pokemon are in it type beat.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not there for that. I'm not down for that. The Pokemon's gameplay to me, and I would argue even to them, like to Game Freak when they made the video game, was a means to an end. It's like they wanted to sell a vision of a world, and it was on the Game Boy,
Yeah.
And then they kind of got like trapped into that because it blew up, and it's like, well, what can we, Call of Duty syndrome? What can we change? So, yeah, all that to say. I'm not a Digimon fan, but I'll check it out for the meme. Do you like Digimon, Dan?
I am very neutral on it. I know that I have a lot of friends that were playing it that seem to enjoy it, so I don't know. I'm probably not going to play it.
I feel that. If I could weasel my way out of the meme, I'll probably do it, but maybe not. Who knows? I don't even remember seeing this in the direct. This was probably like wait, let me look at it.
Is it the Grand Blue?
Yeah, Grand Blue. Yeah, I don't remember seeing this. Grand Blue remember... Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok is coming out July 9th of this year.
It looks like Monster Hunter.
It does.
I
don't remember this.
Far more action-based.
I put this in the maybe category. Looks cool. I like Monster Hunter. Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it and going like, oh, that looks interesting, and the fact that it's multiplayer and the combat looks really fun.
Yeah.
I might be into it.
Sounds cool. Put me down as a maybe. Speaking of Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, Switch 2, and other things, PC, I think, on the 13th of March. I'm going to play this game. There's nothing really to say here because they showed this game 50,000 times. That's one thing Capcom will do. They're going to show their video game. They got the McDonald's like Coca-Cola advertisement brain where it's like we don't advertise to teach you anything. We advertise to remind you of what we already taught you. And that's what they did here. It's like, hey, remember this game? Still, it's coming out. I don't even think there was I don't think there was even a time when we didn't know when this game was coming out. I think when they announced it, we knew when it was coming out, and they still showed it to us like 3 more times to be like, still coming out.
And like even now, it's like, okay, you're gonna remind us now, and then in March you're gonna drop more information just to make sure we really know what's happening here.
Yeah, this is another one where it's like, this is just Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's pretty much what it is. But I work with Capcom, so they might send it to me, and that'll be cool. And I'll stream it, and we'll see if I like it. And maybe I'll do like I'll do like a Nuzlocke or something. Who knows? Arcade Archives, Rave Racer, Switch 1 and 2. Also, they use this to announce a new thing. Because now they're doing console archives, which I don't care about. Like, why did they have like? I don't think anybody would have called them out if they just kept it as Arcade Archives. But someone in chat when we were streaming did point out, and they were like people might be mad because like this is only on Switch 2, like the console archive video games. Like there's Darumon. There's a Darumon game that's coming. I think that came out today, and then Cool Borders, which I do know a Cool Borders. Did you ever play Cool Borders, Dave?
I played Cool Borders too. I loved Cool Borders too.
Yeah, Cool Borders was cool, but I don't know if it's one of those games.
Sure it was.
It's one of those games that I played when I was 8 and then never again. And you know, my memories as an 8-year-old, it was a game pretty cool. But my like sensibilities now, game probably sucks. But I don't know.
Oh, I am so worried to boot it up. I'm afraid I'm gonna go. Oh, this is what it was.
Yeah, game's probably bad now. But actually, I don't even know how much this is. It's out, so let me look it up because I might cop. If it's like $10 or less than that, I'll check it out, and if it's bad, I'll report. Wait, let's see. Cool Borders, Switch 2. Let's see if Google is my friend. It is. It popped up. It was the first thing. What? Oh, no. That was just Google being stupid.
$50?
Yeah. That's what. But it was just talking about the thing where it's like, if you pay $50, you get free shipping.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
$12.
$12. Is this multiplayer?
That's not terrible.
Can I play this with people? Supported play mode, supported system. What?
Was there even Cool Borders had a multiplayer? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's multiplayer.
No.
I might cop anyway. It's $11. Game's pretty cool. Or it was cool. It's $12. It's $12 game.
It's $12 and it is Cool Borders, so you know.
It is Cool Borders. It might suck though, because you know, PlayStation game.
You might get there and go, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're to a sizzle reel. There's a series of games that may or may not have been previously announced, and I couldn't tell you one way or the other for most of them. We got Scott Pilgrim EX for Switch 1.
Yes.
March 3rd, 2026. Another Eden Begins, Switch 1 and Switch 2, summer 2026. Reanimal, February 13th. WWE 2K26, March 13th. I might actually play this game, but I'm only playing it again if friends get it, because Colton wants it, and then if everybody else that I know likes wrestling gets it on Switch 2 specifically, I can be convinced. But
there you go.
If like, because the thing about my friends that like wrestling, as far as I know, they're not necessarily devout WWE 2K people, you know? Yeah. I can't convince them to play NBA 2K on Nintendo Switch 2 because they're going to buy it. They buy it every year all the time on PlayStation or whatever, right? But they're not married to this game on any particular platform. So I feel like
Now's your chance.
I feel like we could meet in the middle here. It's like y'all want me to engage with wrestling. This is how you get me to do it. Is we play it on Nintendo Switch 2. So we'll see. Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, Nintendo Switch 2, February 18, 2026. Disney Dreamlight Valley, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, March 25th, 2026. I thought this already happened. PGA Tour 2K25 tomorrow, or today when you're watching this, probably. Cold Set begins Switch 1 and 2, July 16, 2026. Goat Simulator 3, Switch 2 on April Fool's Day, because memes. Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, Switch 2, March 18, 2026. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn Edition, Switch 2, May 22nd, 2026. Any of those games catch your
Pilgrim's Scott Pilgrim's the only one that really jumps out to me.
Is this a new game or is it the same game? But
no, it's a new game.
Okay,
it's a new game.
I played the first video game. The video game, I played the game, and it's a beat 'em up. It's one of those.
Yeah, and it's very grindy. The first one, I like it a lot, but like there's just comes a point where you have to sit there and grind out money, and it really slows down. I've heard that the new one is turning out really, really well. So nice. I'm very excited to jump on that one.
That's cool. Is this another online multiplayer game? Maybe I play it.
Yeah.
Who knows? I played the first one, even though I have no investment in Scott Pilgrim as an intellectual property at all.
I love it. I'm a huge fan.
I bet you do. That seems like something you would like for sure.
That's some Dan. That's some Dan stuff.
It's Dan stuff. Resident Evil Requiem, we talked about this to death. Nothing really changed except for, we got updates that we knew about that happened elsewhere, and one update that we didn't know about, I guess, which is the Leon amiibo. There's a Leon amiibo. Yeah. We knew that there was a Grace amiibo. I don't remember if we saw it or not. We saw both today. And we saw footage of the Switch 2 version with Leon, which we haven't seen before, and they went into like the first person and the third person, and they talked about how this game is sexist. Where like, yo, you're the man, you can kill anything however you want. You're the woman, you're helpless. I'm joking, but it is though. I'm down. I want to play this game. It looks cool.
I'm currently trying to like speed run my way through RE2 through I 4 right now
on stream when I rated you.
Yeah, I mean 9's gonna come out before I finish 2, 3, and 4, but I'm super excited to finally get to play this. It looks like it kind of like takes the good parts of the action era of Resident Evil while including a lot of Resident Evil 7 mechanics in it. Damn. And that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I like that it's like, because there's like the whole thing of like there's like the two sides of like the horror genre, where there's like how they scare you is by making you helpless, and that's represented here. And then there's the other thing where it's like, it's just, it's just scary people, but you kill them. You can parry and stuff. That's pretty cool.
It's good. If you're jumping between characters, it's going to be very cathartic to like spend some time just getting like jump scared and chased.
Kill this thing. It's been chasing me for the last hour and I can kill it now. That'll be cool. I'm down. I'm here for it. I have hate and disdain in my heart for this next game. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, Nintendo Switch 2, coming out February 24th.
Can I say something really quick?
Go for it.
Bethesda had the chance to do the funniest thing ever and open with releasing Skyrim specifically for Switch 2 again.
Didn't they? I thought they did that already.
They've done it already, but they had a chance to do it again.
They kind of did. They just didn't talk about it here. But there's a physical edition of the thing, the remaster, whatever they call it. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. There's another game I do want to touch on this real quick. Starfield is supposed to. There's like a rumor that it was supposed to be coming out. There's like rumblings that it either got delayed or potentially canceled. Who knows? But I don't know. I have no investment in Fallout. I actually hate it, actually, because of this game specifically. I'm pretty sure we talked about this before.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
So I don't care. Do you care?
I don't care.
I saw people being mad about this because I think this game's $50 or something like that.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't think a game's like perishable goods. And a game costs what it costs, and if we don't think it's worth it and we don't buy it, it'll be cheaper.
So, yeah, wait for a deal. It'll happen.
Yeah, just if you don't think it's worth the price, don't pay the price. I beg of you, please, sincerely. The next game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I do want to play this game.
Same.
I was going to play this when it came out on Xbox, and then I was like, I don't want to give Xbox money. And even though this is like giving Xbox money, it's more of a roundabout way of giving Xbox money, which I feel better about.
Yeah, I get that.
This coming out May 12th. We saw footage for the first time on the Switch 2 version. It's pretty cool. Looks good.
Yeah, it does. I'm very happy to see how it looks running on Switch 2.
Yeah, I've never watched a full Indiana Jones movie before. I've seen probably bits and pieces of all of them, but I've never seen.
Yeah, I've seen the first, bits and pieces of the second, and then the third. And that's about it.
How many of them are there? It's like 5.
There's 5.
Shot in the dark, headshot, got him. I am down. Me and Coleman, we talked about how this is like a kind of full circle thing, where it was like Indiana Jones happened, and then Tomb Raider came out and like kind of stole from that, and then Uncharted came out and kind of stole from that, and then Tomb Raider came back out and then stole from that, and now this is coming out and stealing from both of them again. So, welcome to video games, Indiana Jones, I guess. And then the Elder Scrolls, what is this for? The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered 2026. Cool.
Yeah, I started playing it. I did not get very far into it.
Do you have an affinity for this game? You grew up with this game?
I would kind of, not really though. I do want to play it. In like spend some actual time with it, but also it's one of those games that I feel is better if you mod the hell out of it. And so I don't think I'm gonna want to play it again unless I can mod it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. Didn't they say that there's like some community mods or something like that, or was that for Fallout?
They said for Fallout 4.
Yeah, it was for Fallout.
And yeah, I mean, I have it on PC, and so when I'm ready to find my mod pack, I will then finally play Oblivion.
There it is. I'll never touch this game a day in my life. And that was the partner direct. I thought it was like fine, which is cool.
It was very okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there was nothing that really like jumped out. It was like, oh man, I was waiting for them to say something like this. It was just very much like, hey, this very much feels like a top of the year. Hey, remember the games we're releasing this year?
Exactly. Which is like fine. I'll say, I will add, generally, I don't like seeing games that we saw before. I don't like that. Yeah. But I think that they do a pretty good, the problem is the internet. But Nintendo themselves do a reasonable job of being like, this isn't going to be that big of a deal. Like, it's a partner showcase. It's a half an hour. It's going to be Switch 1 and Switch 2 video games. I think that off rip is like, okay, we're not going to get nothing insane here. But because it is Switch 2 specifically in this era where like things are like possible now, as far as like big third party games.
Yes.
There's chances that we see pretty cool stuff. And I think we saw that. Like we saw Indiana Jones, pretty cool. And the only thing that's like hampering that. In that regard, that's not the internet's fault, is they just talk about stuff too early. Like if they revealed Indiana Jones in this direct, that would have been hype. But because in the Game Awards they showed us a logo, it's like less hype now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was nothing crazy. I didn't see a whole. I mean, granted, I haven't checked Twitter a whole lot today, but I didn't see a whole lot of discourse on what people not liking the direct at all.
So usually, what I see, I don't usually check Twitter day of. Like I might check Twitter if I make a video about a direct specifically, which I'm steering away from. I don't really do that anymore. I'll check Twitter and I'll see what the general sentiment is. The way I gauge how people are talking about the Nintendo Direct now, which is like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a lot of ways, is looking at what the Nintendo Switch YouTubers are saying. And they all make the same video every single time. And it's either this is the best Direct of all time or it's the worst Nintendo Direct of all time. And from what I've seen, scrolling through, this is the worst of all time. So there's that. And then there's Kevin Kenson, who's reasonable, and he more or less said what we said, where it's like, this is fine. You know, like it was okay. It was okay. So I don't know. If I graded it, I'll give it like a C-.
Yeah, C- is about right. I wouldn't go any lower than that. I mean, it's just very much like, hey, here's some stuff.
Exactly. And I will say, for what it's worth, I wouldn't be surprised if we get more announcements soon, because this year has already they did what they did last year with when they did partner directs, where it's like we got like bits and pieces of a lot of stuff, where like so far this year has been, they did the Mario movie direct, then they did the Tomodachi Life direct, and now they're doing this. And then we know we're getting Pokemon Day. I could see them capping off their like early year coverage, maybe like early March, with a like, here's the full thing, you know? And with knowing that we will eventually get that, like, here's the big first party stuff that we're getting after. I think the last big first party thing that we have a date for is Pokopia, I think. So like after March, they kind of gotta, unless they do Twitter reveals of like Fire Emblem is coming out on this date, and Splatoon Raiders is coming out on this date, and Pokemon Champion, you know, which Pokemon Champion they're probably going to say when that comes out in the Pokemon Day Direct. It's my guess. I say all to say we're going to get more. This was like decent, and I'm not mad at it. There's games that I want to play. I wish they would stop announcing things before they're ready to fully talk about them, though. That's my takeaway.
And that's a fair takeaway. I mean, it's so hard to maintain hype around something the longer out the release date is.
Yes.
100%. Unless you're GTA 6.
Yeah. But I like even for GTA 6, it's annoying. Like my only like exception that I pay, that I carve out for like longer hype cycles, is for console manufacturers, because I think it's fair for them to be like, here's 2, maybe 3 games to look forward to for the console that we're trying to sell, because it's a big investment. So we don't want it to just be like, you buy a console based off of the one game that you want that's currently out, without knowing that there's more that you're going to want, right?
Yeah.
But for a third party, there's no reason to tell us about your video game more than, I'll say, 6 months out. I think
6 months out? Yeah, I think 6 months out is fair.
I think 6 months is reasonable, man. Like, even if you're a kid, you can get $10 a month to put, like, to save for the game when it comes out 6 months from now, you know?
Yeah, I do think there are certain partner games, though, that I understand a lot of hype around, but like right now we don't have any of those. Nothing in this direct was worthy of a year long. It's no like, hey, here's Mega Man.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Agreed. So That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on that. But Nintendo made a lot of money with games that already came out in the Nintendo Switch 2, and we have updates on how all that stuff sold and whatnot, which is, interesting to look at. Nintendo Switch 2, it shipped another 7,000,000.01 units in the last 3 months, and it's now at 17.37 million units in its first 7 months of existence, which is the fastest selling console of all time still. There was like a whole thing. I mean, we've talked about it. That was like the general like talking points of the last time you were on, is like people being like, man, consoles are doing bad right now, right?
Yeah.
Turns out that's not true. Like, as far as this one is concerned. And Nintendo did acknowledge, and we'll get to that, but Nintendo did acknowledge in Western countries it is it was slower than they expected. But even that wasn't as slow as the discourse would lead you to believe. Where it's like, man, like, we were really expecting this console to be the fastest thing of all time. And it is, but it's not as fast as we thought it would be. Like, that's their sentiment, you know? It's not like this console is failing and we need to change stuff, you know? And it's just like... Again, their sentiment seems to be more or less what I feel like the situation is, where it's like, man, the economy sucks, and that kind of sucks, but like, we're trying to put games out.
Yeah, and I mean, you work with the economy that you're given, and so the fact that it's selling this much, considering everything that's happened, is still a big win.
Yeah.
It's still a very big win.
And I'm curious what they'll do, because I know that, like, that's like part of their identity. Like, part of their identity as a brand to the world, not to people that talk about them on the internet. Like, they're the affordable one. Like, they're the one that's for families, right? So I know they care about that. I wonder how much of their planned releases are mindful of that. You know, like, because like I mentioned, like with the game share thing, like how much of these games have cool game share features, and like how many games do they have that are gonna be in that, like, $50 to $60 range? Like, I don't know how many games they'll do below that, because that's not like that's what indies are for. But
they fill that sort of like $20 to $50.
Yeah, range. Like they don't really do the like 3DS like what's his name, Dylan's Rolling Western. Like they don't do that kind of game as much anymore. They usually just let indies do it, and even when they do a game like that, they let an indie do it and they partner with the indie.
Right? Yeah.
So I think I'm curious. Even with that, I wonder if they're going to have any of those kinds of releases. They did say this is their best third quarter for any Nintendo system, surpassing the Wii's 3.43 million units. And that's notable because their third quarter is where they make like all of their money. Like I saw a breakdown one time. It was like they make like 60% of their revenue between like October and December. It's ridiculous.
I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense with, holidays are always the big money maker, but that's still crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. But it makes sense. It makes sense. They forecast they're going to sell 19 million by March 2026, which is 1.63 million units more than they currently have sold. I think they're going to beat that. I still maintain by the 1 year mark, by June 2026, they're hitting 25 million. I would be shocked if they don't. But this is, again, they said March. So that would mean like if they hit their, like if this is all they do, if they do 19 million, which I think that they try to come under what they're going to sell, because that looks more impressive to the investors.
Of course.
But if they do that, then that means that they're going to sell another 6 million between March and June. And I mean, like, obviously, their projections also have in mind, like, what games are going to come out. And they know that better than I know that. So maybe they don't have the game that will get them the 25 million at that trajectory by June. But I don't know if they even necessarily need a specific game to do it. Personally.
Well, and on top of that, it'll only take an announcement.
Yeah. Yes, because they don't need to actually, like, the game doesn't actually need to come out for people to buy this.
They literally just have to say, hey, new Mario coming out this year.
Here's the 3D Mario. Here's that's what literally they're announcing Gen 10 in like 2.5 weeks. So or like 3 weeks. So I think even that alone could get them within striking distance.
That could do a lot. Yeah.
So, that'd be cool. As far as software they sold, and this confuses me. This I don't understand how they report this. I assume that Nintendo is talking about their first party titles when they're talking about software, because they said they shipped another 17.31 billion units of software for Switch 2, right? Pokemon accounts for like 12 million of that. I don't think that that combined with the like around like 1 million cumulative that we'll get to with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and like Donkey Kong Bonanza, like that, all the games that they release combined with all the third party releases, something tells me that they sold more than that as far as like all of their, I think when they report like software sales, they're not talking about Nintendo as a hardware manufacturer. They're talking about Nintendo as a software developer and publisher.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see if that is the case, and if it's not the case, what the actual total is. Because we do know what Sony's total is for their last quarter. And their last quarter, they sold, I want to say it was 19 million, like, total. Across, or no, it was 19 million. I think it was 19 million for their first parties, and then it was like 30 million for everything. That's what it was.
Okay.
And I thought that was weird because I'm like, but then again, I mean, they're like sell through, like, or not sell through. They're like attach rate is not as high as Nintendo's as far as like really with any game, like unless you're like GTA, and that's kind of it. But like Nintendo, like they buy Nintendo consoles to play Nintendo games, and somebody could buy a PlayStation and never buy a PlayStation game. Like that's a common experience.
Yeah, it's because at this point in time, it's just a PC.
Yeah.
Like the PlayStation experience now just feels so much more diluted.
Right. They don't
during this new generation.
I feel like that kind of died at PS3 and maybe like midway through PS4, if we're being generous. I feel like they tried.
PS4 is about right. Yeah,
they tried a lot harder to like. Because the reason why I say PS3 is because the PS3 era is the last time I remember them like going out of their way to have a lot of first party games that are diverse. PlayStation 4, they had a decent amount of like first party games, but the kinds of games that they released are the same kinds of games that they're releasing now. Like every once in a while you'll get an Astro Bot, but more often than not you're getting like gritty third person narrative game about revenge and loss in your family. Like that's like PlayStation's entire brand right now.
Right.
And they don't usually stray from that. But they used to be like Nintendo where you have a little bit of everything. And now they don't really do that.
No, you just can't find that experience on PlayStation now. It's why Nintendo is always going to have a leg up as when it comes to consoles, is because you can't play Mario through legal means on a computer.
Yeah. Facts. You have more to say?
No. I'm good.
Okay. I talked about it a little bit, but Pokemon Legends EA, it shipped 12.3 million units in 11 weeks. Which is a little slower than Legends Arceus.
Is it really?
Yes, but I think that there's a lot of factors that go into that. That's not that people like the game less. I think that like this game is actually having better retention than Legends Arceus. Like the amount of people that bought Legends Arceus month 1 and then bought it month 2 dropped way more than the amount of people that bought ZA month 1 and then bought ZA. I mean, yeah, ZA
right.
month 2. So I think that Legends ZA is going to outpace it when everything's all said and done. But right now, it's pacing behind it.
Man, whenever I look at these numbers, it just always blows me a mind because they're just so high, and I just have to be like, 12 million's a lot, but it's not as much as others. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 12 million is ridiculous, but this is Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're talking about it's like how I'll talk about, like, whenever people are like, Pokemon should be like Expedition 33, right? And I'm like, whenever somebody says that, I'm like, yo, I get it. Like, it's successful for the game that it is and the audience that is used to playing those games, right? But Satoshi Tajiri would blow his brains out if a mainline Pokemon game only sold, and again, like, everything is like relative, right? But only in the context of Pokemon sold 8 million copies. Things would be on fire.
That would be bad.
Yeah,
that would be very bad.
That would be very bad. But in the context of any other game, 12 million is ridiculous. And not any other game. Most other games. Because again, there's other, you know, the GTA, same thing. If the next GTA game only sold 12 million copies, people are losing their homes and their jobs.
Everyone loses.
Yeah. Like, they might break the glass if it sells less than 12 million in the first 24 hours. So, you know, there's levels and whatnot. But there's a breakdown. We got a little bit of breakdown. The Switch 2 edition of the video game sold 3.89 million units, and the Switch version sold 8.41 million. So I think something that will make up for, like, something that will close the gap, and I think will more or less drastically, relatively, surpass Arceus, is the Switch 2 adoption rate picking up.
Yeah.
Like, as people buy Switch 2, they will buy Pokemon Legends ZA for Switch 2. And I'm also curious how did they count me as a Switch 2 edition? And because I bought the regular version and then I bought the upgrade pack.
Great.
How do they count that?
That's a good question. I think my instinct would be is they count it as a Switch 1 thing, because I think it's more complicated just in, like, collecting analytics and data.
Right.
It's like, all right, someone bought the Switch 1. Oh, but they bought the upgrade pack. Remove that sale and put it on the Switch 2 number.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So they probably just go like, that one. Boom.
Something I'm also curious about, because they specifically say shipped. Is this just physical or is it digital and physical? Because if it's just physical,
both, right?
Because if it's just physical, that also would make more sense as far as the delineation, because, like, you can't buy physically the Nintendo Switch 2 edition in the way that I did, right? Like, it's either you're buying the Switch version or you're buying the Switch 2
or the Switch
edition.
2, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow, this just updated before my eyes. That was weird. What the heck? Oh, it's because they have it on here separately. I'm on the Nintendo financial, like, breakdown website. And they got the top selling games, and it has ZA on here, and it's only at 3.89 million. But again, it's the Switch 2 edition.
Huh.
So wait, let me see, because they usually say on here if it's digital and physical. Software units include the downloadable versions. Okay. Software units include the quantity bundled with hardware or other products. The numbers shown above are worldwide consolidated sales units life to date. So yeah, okay, that answers that question. So it's physical and digital. So that's that for Pokemon. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. 1 sold 2.28 million units. 2 sold 2.42 million units, which makes sense because we could buy Galaxy if you got the 3D collection thing, but you
already have Galaxy.
Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Kirby Air Riders sold 1.76 million. It already passed the original Kirby Air Riders, which is a win. Donkey Kong Bonanza sold another 760,000 units this quarter, and its total is 4.25 million. Mario Kart World, which I want to know. They're not going to tell me, but I want to know how much of these is just people buying Mario Kart. Because I know it's not all bundles, but it's right, they said that it includes the bundle. They said in the disclosure thing.
Yeah, in the disclosure. So there's a good chance that
how many people spend $80 is what I want to know.
Because I imagine that Q2, most of those Mario Kart copies are from the bundle. Because it was just smarter to buy the bundle and get the $80 game for $50.
Yeah, but even for Q1, it was smarter.
Yeah.
Like it's always been smarter, but now it's just harder. Like there's going to be a point because they discontinued it. They're not doing it anymore. So I don't know how much they still have, like can people still are we going to see next quarter still more bundles being sold? And we're going to see it. Like it's going to, regardless of if it's still in stock broadly, there's going to at least be a few thousand left. But what I'm curious about is there enough left in the wild that it's going to move the needle? Like, are we going to see another 2 million bundled in Mario Kart? And if that's the case, will we see a drop off? Will less people be buying Mario Kart, or does it actually not matter?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm so curious about that.
I guess Q1 of 2026 is going to be very interesting to watch to see if it just suddenly dips really hard.
Yeah. Which I hope so. That'll be cool because that tells them that they should never do that again. Or it'll tell them at least now that they should drop the price. Because if that happens, it worked the first time as far as bundling it with consoles and all that and whatnot, right? So we'll learn one of two things, and unless if people in the real world are different from people on the internet, I think that that's the case. I think it's probably not really.
Yes.
I think people are going to spend $80 on Mario Kart. If people still buy it, then it's just all right, we're cooked. GG's. It's over. Mm-hmm. Every Mario Kart. The next Mario Kart is going to be 90.
No, it's just going to keep going up, or they're just always going to. Every new console is going to be bundled with a stupidly expensive game.
Yes, and it'll be hey man, you could spend $100 for this game, but you could get it bundled in for $50. They'll do that.
Yeah.
Which scummy.
I hate it.
Yeah. Nintendo Switch 2 million sellers list updated. I mentioned the ones that are on the Nintendo Switch 2. We already talked about it. The Nintendo Switch 1 shipped 1.36 million units, down from 4.82 million last year. It's now Nintendo's fastest selling console of all time, surpassing the Nintendo DS. They broke down how many of the units were what the Switch 2 breakdown was by its model. The one that shipped the most was the OLED, which again is one of the main reasons why I think people are cap with their Mario Kart take, because the OLED is now $400 and it is the one that sold the most. Then the base Nintendo Switch sold 430,000 units, and Nintendo Switch Lite sold 350,000 units. I think that they're going to pass PlayStation 2, but I think it's going to take 3 years.
Yeah,
maybe 2.
It'll take a little bit of time, but they'll do it.
Yeah, they got to clear 160 unless PlayStation finds more units somewhere in a warehouse.
It just really, we remade the PlayStation 2 because we're petty.
They do the thing where Disney re-releases Avatar and Infinity War and that whole thing. Nintendo distributed 47.37 million Nintendo Switch games, down 12% from last year. And then 1 million people bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And 700,000 people bought Animal Crossing. I want to repeat, stop buying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Stop. Every person that is buying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you are the reason. You that Mario Kart World is $80. Because 70 million units for a port of a decade-old game is crazy.
That is wild.
It is about to be their best-selling video game ever. And it is a port.
It's so crazy. It's
ridiculous. And then Smash Brothers, it's sold another 500,000 units. They sold a lot of games. I think that's all the big talking points as far as like this game that came out, it did this and that, those are the big
basically
ones.
From here on out, it's just like, here's big number.
And I mentioned this in passing, but Metroid Prime 4, scary hours. The fact that this game, granted, at the time, the tracking period, this game was out for less than a month. It was like 20 something days. It sold combined at least 1 million copies between the Switch version and the Switch 2 version. That is not enough for a video game that we waited a decade for. And I know that they are losing money on that game if that does not drastically pick up and we don't see a huge spike between now and the next financial briefing. Cause Jesus.
Here's the thing. I stand by this as just a moment of like, had the game been quality, this would be entirely different.
I think if the game wasn't a GameCube game, it would have been different. But it's a GameCube game. So
yeah, it's just how well did Dread sell?
I think it did 3 million.
If they take Prime and they just kind of go, okay, maybe not, and kept going the Dread route, maybe I'm okay with it.
I mean, hey, Dread doesn't feel like a GameCube game.
So it doesn't. It feels really good. I'm just
So
it's so disappointing to see.
Honestly, and that's how you know that they're so committed. Like, and I don't necessarily blame them, like, because regardless, time is finite, and the amount of games that you can put out and have them have some level of attention is also finite. So I get that they want their IP that are like world famous and everybody knows them to be like events and be treated as such, right? But if that wasn't the case, they absolutely should have just did like, okay, Metroid is now C tier franchise. It gets Metroid Dread style game, it's $40. Like, that's what they do. But they want Metroid to be like worth its status. Like, when people think of Nintendo, they think of Metroid. And a lot of people think of Nintendo. But a lot of those people, even if they think of Metroid and they know who Samus Aran is, they don't buy her games. So it's like, ugh.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
And I feel like more people should do their part.
Yo, I bought the game. I bought it.
Yeah, we did our part.
So
I hate to see it. I really, it's like that and Star Fox.
Yeah.
Are like, they're two franchises. I'm like, I just want these games to get the proper like treatment that they need and be big hitters.
I think the thing about Star Fox is way easier for them to make successful. They just gotta.
I think so, yeah.
They just gotta rip the Band-Aid off and say it's not an N64 game anymore. We're not in the arcade era. People don't want to pay full price for a game just because, I mean, like the value proposition is beat your high score. People don't want to do that.
No.
The way you make a full price Star Fox game in 2026 is you make it Ratchet and Clank. You make it No Man's Sky. You like that's what you do. You take the themes, the characters, the world, and you make a game that is reflective of that. Stop making a game that is reflective of the old gameplay and throw the old gameplay away. Reference the old gameplay in ways like keep dogfighting and stuff like that. But that being the foundation of the game is stupid. Nobody wants to pay $60 for that. Yeah, and nobody damn sure wants to pay $70 for it.
You have to get off the on rails shooting thing. It's fun if it's like a small game, like just like in Donkey Kong Bonanza, where some of the like secret levels, like, oh, you're playing Bramble Bush. Isn't it neat? It's the song. It's like, okay, great. And then we're back into it. Like,
yes.
They need something that feels more like Ratchet and Clank would be so good.
That's what they
And now I just want another Ratchet and
Clank. The last game made me angry because I clipped through the floor 3 times in the first hour.
That's disappointing. Good. I thought it was one of the best games that PlayStation put out.
I was hoping for that. I literally purchased my PlayStation 5 for $800 because all that was available was GameStop bundles. I had Scootish do it because I didn't have GameStop Pro rewards or whatever, and he did. So I did all that to play this video game. My first experience with this video game was that, and I was like, I just don't want to play this. It's very similar to Fallout, actually.
Yeah.
Except it hurt even more because I expect that to some degree with the Bethesda Studios.
Yeah, with the Bethesda game. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was not expecting that from that video game.
You should play it again. That's just a personal thought.
I might. I don't know. Port it to Nintendo Switch too, and then I'll play. But yeah, no. That's all they gotta do. Anyways, the next thing, Nintendo is hinting at more Switch upgrades, more Switch 2 editions. I see a lot of people complaining about them, and by a lot of people, I'm talking about very specifically games journalists. They don't like the Nintendo Switch 2 edition thing. But it seems like Nintendo likes them. Seems like, and I don't even know if they necessarily mean specifically Switch 2 editions, because they also mentioned Splatoon 3. And Splatoon 3 doesn't have a Switch 2 edition. It just has a free update.
Right. Just like number 11 or whatever 11, just came out.
Version 11 or whatever. And it's a pretty big update. And even like Animal Crossing got a new update. Like it has the Switch 2 edition, but also it just got a content update for everybody. Yeah. So I think that was like something that was like on their radar and that they were really interested in the early days of Nintendo Switch, and then it kind of petered off at a point, and now they're like, yo, we want to do it again. Which I'm down for.
Right, yeah.
I'm down for it.
I'm down for it.
There's just certain games that like I know people like the buzzword is a boogeyman in the gaming industry, but some games just work better as service games. And I think Nintendo has certain IP that they release one time on a console and then they don't do anything else with the IP. And I think that that's too far in the other direction. Like going 8 years without any new 3D Mario content for real. Like there's 3D World, Bowser's Fury or whatever, but any real substantial 3D Mario content is too long. Right. But if you have a game and you release it with the intent to be like, okay, I'm gonna keep this, somewhat current as this life cycle moves forward, I think that that's a winning formula. So hopefully they.
I think there's a middle ground, right? Mm-hmm. Like you don't need to make it like Marvel Rivals or
no, I don't think you need like that. Yeah, you don't need to update it every month.
But like release one like cool feature every now and then. Maybe throw in an extra level if you're feeling spicy.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, like I think it depends on the game, obviously. Like a Mario game, give me something cool every 2 to 3 years. But like, yo, remember Mario Odyssey exists? here's a couple new levels or whatever, right? Whereas a Smash Brothers, update that, once a year. Do the initial content strategy of like, all right, we're doing season passes, new characters every 3 months or whatever. After those end, check in on the game. Make sure that there's not a Steve, Yeah. Make sure people still actively playing the game are enjoying their time with the game. Because as we saw during the financial briefing, 500,000 people bought the game in the last 3 months. The game came out almost a decade ago. So like, come on, man, you can like kick the wheels, make sure everything's, you don't got any flat tires. But yeah, no, I'm down for that. I'm here for it. Overwatch 2, no longer Overwatch 2. It's Overwatch again. And it's getting a Switch 2 edition in spring.
And neither of those are the big news.
It's the big news for this podcast, but they are getting a bunch of other stuff.
You were just going to skip over.
No, I'm not going to skip over anything. I was going to tell you to do it.
Yeah.
You're more into this game than I am. Me and Bob played it when it came out, 2016, and we played it. For like a week.
We did a Switch version.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. And then we played it again when it came out on Nintendo Switch. I was talking about when it came out initially. When it first came out, me and Bob played this game religiously for like a month, and then we didn't play it anymore. And then it came out on Switch, and we played it on stream one time.
Yeah,
and it was
I remember that.
It was pretty fun.
It was fun. Honestly, this announcement kind of makes me want to go back and play some Overwatch again, because when Rivals came out,
what's the other stuff that's not the Switch?
So I mean the big thing is like the dropping of the 2 is I personally like just going back to Overwatch, because that's kind of how it always felt.
Yeah,
it's just kind of acknowledging that like, hey, we know we didn't get this and this and this out. Well, let's make it just Overwatch. I think the big thing is like they've been releasing like a hero a season, and as part of this kind of like new revamp of what they wanting to do, 5 new characters to start the season off is huge.
How long are these seasons?
I think they range anywhere for like 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So you're getting about like maybe 4 heroes a year.
All right.
And based off of what I'm seeing, there isn't obviously there's Jetpack Cat, which is great. It has been a meme for a long time in the community. It's fun to see it here. It looks like it's going to be a menace, which is always great. But the other characters all look really fun to play.
Okay.
Which ultimately is the big thing. I'm interested to see
who the newest character that I know is. I think Doomfist, that's his name.
Oh boy.
I think that's the newest character that I know.
Oh boy. There's been a lot. There's been a lot, and I checked out for quite a while too. Like I couldn't tell you what the last hero was. I played it like once earlier, like mid 2025, and I was like, I don't know these couple of characters. I know I can play Mercy.
I know who that is.
But the new characters look fun. They're trying to take a new approach, because with Rivals, how well Rivals is performing versus Overwatch has like really tough competition now. So they need to come out swinging with everything they do.
They need to make a better game. Like it has to be better than Marvel. Like if they want to like compete, they need to make a better game, because they don't have Spider-Man.
Like, they don't have Spider-Man.
Like bare minimum, Marvel Rivals got Spider-Man. So like,
yeah. Well, and I think if they would have actually followed through strongly with the story aspect, which I think that's kind of what they're going to be going for in this next season, is to add a bit more narrative into it. But the one thing that Overwatch has over Marvel Rivals right now is that the level design of Overwatch is just better than Marvel Rivals. I hate more maps in Marvel Rivals than I do in Overwatch.
That makes sense.
So now it's just about bringing everything up there, because don't you want to play in a map that actually like makes sense in your head? Because there are some maps in Marvel Rivals where I'm just like, Marvel this is bad
in a minute. So I can't like, and by a minute, it's like compared to the last time I played Overwatch, it wasn't that long.
Yeah,
played Marvel Rivals right before Switch 2 came out, and then I stopped playing because it's not on Switch 2, and I don't want to turn on my PlayStation.
Unless that's fair.
Unless I feel cornered. they come out with something sick on PlayStation, I'll turn my PlayStation on.
Yeah.
But anything short of that, I'm good. So I haven't played Marvel Rivals in a minute. I watch Lee play it sometimes, but I don't really get a good idea of the maps I don't know enough to be like, oh, that seems annoying, or that like I just know certain heroes that are annoying. And that's
I mean, yeah. As a healer main, if there's a Black Panther on the other team, it's just everything's the worst thing ever.
Lee bounces around, but most of the time he's playing Hulk.
There you go. Hulk's fun. I think I haven't played him because I don't like being a tank.
I didn't understand being a tank at first. But then I got it. I understood because I try to like be decent at all the roles so that I can actually be useful, you know?
Right.
So at first I couldn't find a tank that I liked, and that was because I was overthinking being a tank. Like you just kind of hold forward, and then everything just works. So like I'm trying to play like
I'm front line.
Yeah, like I'm playing like I'm like DPS. It's like no, I don't need to do that. Like I can just kind of like exert my will a lot of the times where I was like needlessly like forfeiting a lot of ground that I didn't need to forfeit. But now I get it.
Now you get it. You move forward.
And now I could play Thor, and I could play Doctor Strange, and
hell yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's another tank that I play. I think that's it. I want to try Deadpool, but there's too many. I don't want to do that because I don't want to fight people for the character.
It's calmed down quite a bit.
I might check them out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Put the video game on Switch too. Damn it.
Put the game on Switch too.
You got thoughts on the Hello Kitty and Friends collaboration?
Nah, I mean that's all my thoughts on Overwatch. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get used to Overwatch again and see if it feels any different or if I'm still just on the Rivals train.
That's fair. That makes sense. I don't know. I might jump in for a little bit. I'm not particularly convinced. I'm still more, I want to play Marvel Rivals because that game has Spider-Man. And I'm just using that, to be clear. I'm just using that broadly. I like Spider-Man, but not that much. I'm just saying, like, he's one of the most famous IP. Like, I use that comparison a lot. Like, I used it in my most recent video to be like, they lost money on a Spider-Man game. That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a big IP. I could have segued into this because this is a superhero game, but I just no. Dispatch, we got more info on the Switch 2 debacle that's been happening. Did we talk about this? I feel like we talked about it got announced or something.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it in censorship and
oh yeah, we talked about because it was like there was like more speculation of censorship because the store page was censored. And people on the internet was like, oh, here's Nintendo being Nintendo. Turns out there's been many developments in this, and they've been passing the buck off rip, and it's made me very angry because, like, I get it, man. Like, I get it. I get why people have this, like, idea of Nintendo, but I think a lot of it is overblown, and it's misrepresented And I think a lot of particularly indie studios use that to their advantage to arbitrarily get people on their side when they don't or even can't do certain things, right? So in this scenario, they released a game. They're like, yo, it's censored, but it's more or less the same game. Our bad, Nintendo doesn't let you do blah, 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 right? People get angry. Nintendo makes a statement. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We actually didn't exert any kind of guidelines on you that we don't exert on anybody. Everybody has the same rules. And what actually ended up happening is Ad Hoc didn't submit individual versions of the game that adhere to the guidelines of the different ratings boards. So basically what they did is they designed the game that would appease the most family friendly adjacent ratings board, like the hardest on this sort of thing. And they wash their hands of it. They're like, all right, there's the version. Nobody will be mad at us because the person that is the most critical of this sort of thing, we did what they want us to do. Right. I think that this would have went over way better if they would have just been straight up with everybody and been like, yo, either we can't afford to, or we don't have the bandwidth, or blah, 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 to have multiple versions. And the ratings board for this country has this, and this, or even you could even still paint it as like Nintendo doesn't allow in this region, this, and this, because that's true, because they don't allow what the ratings board doesn't allow. Right. But in this scenario, they just pinned up a boogeyman that people already want to be mad at, and all it does is further poison the well. And I just want a more educated populace. That's all I want. And this does not contribute to that at all. So
it's so messy. I've been trying to keep up with it, and I just keep going back and forth where I'm like, oh, it's Nintendo's fault. Okay. Oh, no, wait, hold up. Nintendo's, oh God. To the point where it's just like, I don't know what's happening. I've already played the game. I'm done.
So when this first happened, my suspicion, because like they even mentioned this. They were like, well, yeah, like like you, we too saw that Witcher 3 and blah, like that kind of thing, right? That was my suspicion. But instead of being like, oh, they probably made some kind of like, it's a secret handshake between corporations, I was like, they probably crossed T's and dotted I's that Ad Hoc did not. That was my first suspicion before Nintendo said anything. And that's what happened. That's what it's going on here. They didn't do their due diligence. And, like you can feel however you want to feel based on like, should they be responsible for that? Because they're a small company and relatively, their game still sold over 2 million copies to date. Like they have money.
Yeah.
But like they are a smaller company than freaking CD Projekt Red. And which I say that, but then I think about all these like indie hentai games that are on the Nintendo Switch eShop that I know for sure did submit the multiple copies, or they just outright didn't release in those regions because those games are on the eShop. And I know they're not making these sweetheart deals with these small indies that are making hentai games. So it's like, if they can do it and they can do their due diligence and release these games, why can't you?
Yeah, I think it's so tough because I can only imagine. Yeah, and maybe this is just too much speculation, but when they wanted to get it on the Switch and they're just like, well, there's all those hentai games, so we should be fine. And then finding out, oh, we're not going to be fine. It's such a tough situation.
Like, I think it's fair for us to think that, right? I think it's fair for us to think like there's hentai games on there. That's fine. But as a professional game developer that is hoping to make millions of dollars on this platform, you should do more research than it should be fine. You know, like I feel like you should look into it a little deeper than that, and you should maybe poke your nose around a little bit and ask those developers, talk to CD Projekt Red. Hey, what did you do to get the game up there? You know,
and that is why I say I think it's too much speculation, because it's just too much speculation.
It's just like, I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. But hopefully, and they also mentioned that there's no possibility that they're going to do a physical game, a physical release that's going to be a make good or anything like that. But they did say that they're going to try to get some of the censorship out of the video game where they can.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I hope that pans out. We'll see. I played the game. The game's cool. I like the game. I like the game. I just don't like the shenanigans. I hate this. I hate these kinds of things. Like I get it. Business is business, and branding, and you want like the gamers to be on your side and all that. But I think this is bad faith. Like they're not being fully transparent. They're being more transparent now, but they were being 0% transparent.
I think it was hey, maybe the fans will help us out here.
And that's nasty. That's so gross. Because they're ill-informed. So being like, hey, maybe their ignorance will align with our ignorance, and we'll come out on top because we're all ignorant. And that's stupid. Borderlands 4 is delayed indefinitely. I don't really care. Do you care?
It sucks, but I don't care.
This is another situation where I feel like they're not doing all they could do. And I think that like with how the game panned out on even the platforms that it is currently out on, that's like I'm like 99.9% sure that that's the case. That is just like it's too much hurdles that we got to jump through to make this game work well, and we don't want to jump through the hurdles, so we're just going to delay it until maybe one day we do want to jump through those hurdles.
Yeah, well, and I mean they even when the game was coming out, they weren't they especially just weren't. They were thinking more about themselves than the consumers, with the whole collector's edition being, absolutely, hey, buy the base game and then buy this, which was terrible. I don't think this is a huge loss.
Me either. So even like when they first announced it, right? I was like on the fence because I knew Colton was down and he wanted to play the game. And I was like, okay, again, I'm down to play. If my friends want to play a game, even if I don't particularly like the game, I'll at least try it for the most part.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. But I hate Randy Pitchford. So that was another thing that I was like, that alone is enough for me to be like, nope. So I was like already kind of leaning towards not. And then I saw the backlash of the game when it released on everything else. And then I saw how they were handling the release and the delay, and now this. I'm like, who even cares at this point? Who cares?
Yeah, it's I want Borderlands to be Borderlands 2 again and be that great again. But I just feel like there's some key thing missing in Gearbox right now, and I don't think Randy's helping whatsoever
at all. That dude sucks.
He's not good, and like he's an ass.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get more games. They'll be cool and fun and fine. I don't think we need this one, team. The thing that was funny about this, like within proximity of that happening, they announced that it was deck verified. And I was like, okay.
All right.
I was like, yep. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason why, like I said, I'm like very, very sure that this is their fault and not because the game can't run. Because if it can run on Steam Deck, it absolutely can run on Switch 2. Bare minimum.
Yeah. Bears.
And that, yes, bears those two. And that was the last thing, but that's too negative of a note. So I'm going to end it on Red Dead Redemption 2. Still supposed to be coming this year. We're supposed to get current gen Red Dead Redemption 2 version. And
hell yeah.
I think that that'll be the start of more good things. I still think that GTA 6 has a strong chance of coming to this platform.
You think?
Yes.
Do you know how big that game is right now?
Yep. I do.
And you think it's going to make it on the Switch too?
Yep. I don't know if you're being facetious or not here.
I think you're looking at Switch 3 there, buddy. I don't know how you could possibly do it.
I think that we've already seen, just based off of the video games that we've gotten and developers that we've heard that worked on this platform, if the game can come to Series S, it can come to Switch 2. And as far as I know, GTA 6 is coming out on Series S. So I could see it coming to Switch 2. And on the topic of Xbox is not looking like a great second option for your game sales. And you know what's looking like a good second option? You know, people are buying the video games on?
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch 2. So then I could see it.
Then all I can ask is that instead of giving me a game card, it's just a new SD card with the game already installed.
I mean, yeah. It's going to be a freaking 150 gigabyte download. Like the thing is, like, it's going to be a huge game, right? But it's not going to be as big of a download on Switch 2 because it's not going to be as high quality assets on the Switch 2, right? So it's going to be a big download, right? It's going to be the biggest download on the platform, probably. But I don't think it'll be too big for them to do it. You know what I mean? Especially like I think even with that, right? Like in normal circumstances, I think Nintendo would be like, maybe don't. Like they would dissuade most developers from putting a 150 gigabyte game on their platform. But I think every console manufacturer on the planet will fall over backwards to get Grand Theft Auto on their platform.
Yeah. That, man, when that game drops, what a time it's going to be.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. I also like, the thing is, like, because of how they market the video game, I don't know what the timing will be. I think that, like, it just based off of precedent, what's probably going to happen is we get PlayStation and we get Xbox, and then sometime later we get PC. I think if we get Switch 2, it'll be around the time that we get PC. That's my guess.
Or they'll just hit you up with the Steam Deck verified and go like, all right.
That's the thing, though. It's like, if they can do a Steam Deck verified version, they could do a Switch 2 version. The thing about Borderlands isn't like, that's a developer culture thing. That's them being like anti-Nintendo, like, and they've been that way since Wii U and prior. Like, that's what it's the same thing with like EA. Like, they do the bare minimum on their games as well. Rockstar, I don't think they're in that camp. I think they've already shown that they want to put their games on Nintendo's platforms, and they've done what they could on the platforms that they supported. I think that is the same case here. And I think that them putting like Red Dead Redemption 2, if they put it, you know, like the current gen version and all the other kind of stuff, right? That just illustrates to me even further that they're committed to the platform, and they see it as a worthwhile investment. Because that's really all it is. I don't think that they're as precious as a lot of like gamers are in that way, where like I think the existence of a PlayStation 5 Pro version or whatever is not to them like, this is the way we want you to play the game. It's not like a auteur movie director being like, if you don't watch this movie in IMAX, you're not experiencing the movie as I intend. I don't think they're thinking of it like that. I think they want as many people as possible to play the video game, and if the console can play it, they're going to put it there.
I mean, especially especially if like how much time and how much money they've easily spent on this game.
Yes.
They need to sell every possible copy they can.
Exactly. And before, Xbox was a good place to do that. It's not looking like a good place to do that anymore.
No, not really.
So you gotta make up the difference somewhere. So we'll see.
We'll see.
We shall see. That's all I got. Everybody go watch Dan, follow Dan, subscribe to Dan. He'll be back in like a month and change.
Yeah.
As is customary. And we'll talk about
customary every 5.
Yes. And we'll talk about whatever's happening then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.